What's going on, guys? Chandler's Legacy Farm here. Today we're going to be taking a look. Yes, the day has came. The day has came. We are going to take a look at, I'm excited about this. A lot of people don't get too excited about Gerber, but I'm excited about this knife. This is the Gerber Strongarm Camp series. That's what we're looking at, guys. Gerber Strongarm Camp. This one is the one that is in Magnacut. so Magnacut, everybody knows, is pretty great steel, right? Pretty good stuff. So we'll get this thing out of the box. We'll there's what you got right there, guys. You got a little bit of literature in there, and that's it. That's all you get. So we'll get this box out of the way. Like I said, it's all you get. Just a brown box, says Gerber on it. So this sheath is set up almost identical to your standard Strongarm, okay? Well, it basically is almost identical. It just doesn't have the lashing points down the sides of the main component of the sheath, okay? Still has the same ability to carry at scout carry. Still have the same ability to be able to pull this wider piece off and run just the thin strap in order to run it through molly webbing or something like on a pack. So same exact style sheath is what you would get for the most part on your standard Gerber Strongarm. So I didn't know what to expect whenever I purchased this. I knew I was expecting something that was going to be thin and slicey, but this is good, guys. This is very good. If you are in the market for a hunting or fishing knife, something to do standard knife tasks. I can understand why they called this the camp series, because it's thin and slicey. Sure, it's Magnacut. You can beat on it, but it's pretty thin. But it's going to be. It is screaming sharp, slicey. This thing came 99% screaming sharp. Okay, I did strop it just a little bit, but it came good and sharp. The Magnacut Strongarm that I had to strop it a little bit because it just left a little bit to be desired in the sharpness department whenever I did purchase it. So therefore, I did strop it up just a little bit. This one is great, actually. So here we go, guys. That's what we're looking at right there. The Gerber Strongarm Camp. Says Magnacut right there on the blade. Made in the USA. Yeah. This thing's great. Look at how thin that is. You're not going to want to be batoning this. It could probably hold up considering it is a Magnacut. Okay? Probably hold up. It does not have a sharpened spine. It has a very round spine. If you was to sharpen this spine, you would have to take quite a bit of meat off of it, I believe. And I don't want to mess this up. This is not designed for firecraft. It's not designed for bushcraft. This is designed, in my opinion, for camp work, as in camp kitchen, as in a fishing knife. You could probably, you could fillet a fish with this. Okay, this would be definitely a great hunting knife for processing deer. This thing came very sharp. I love the handle ergos of this thing. It does have the plastic overmolded handle with the rubber over it, and it does feel fantastic in the hand, okay? I wear large to extra large gloves. My knuckle span from here to here is 3 3/4 of an inch, so relatively wide hands. This thing fits great. It also, right here inside of this square, you probably will not be able to see it. It does say Gerber inside of there. It's almost like an Easter egg. It's so hard to see it, but it is there. It says Gerber on both sides. You got a full tang design, a little bit of an exposed pommel there that is rounded off. It's not sharp. You can run a lanyard through It does have a lanyard hole. It does have a flattened portion back here, you know what I'm saying? So therefore you can get your thumb on it. It does have like a little sharpening ricasso / finger choil going on there. And when it comes to being able to choke up on this thing and like run your finger, my finger will lay right in that little sharpening ricasso or finger choil, whatever you want to call it. My index finger can lay right in that. So I can get up really tight on this blade pretty damn comfortably. So if I need to use that tip for anything really precise, I can do it. You can also run your finger in it. You got to watch. I mean, you're a little close to the edge there, but you can kind of squeeze up on this knife. You know, you can squeeze up on it and it works out quite well. It's not bad at all. Like I said, very thin, very slicey. Great deer processing knife, in my opinion, and fishing knife, because you're in Magnacut. It's you know, it's stainless. You're going to be able to get it wet, get it dirty, get it, you know, it can get blood, guts, goo all over it, and you know, as long as you just kind of give it a good wipe off, you should be in good shape with this Magnacut, right? It'll be pretty easy to clean. The texture on the handle is great. It's a lot more subdued than on a standard Strongarm. The texture is there. It feels great in the hand. You have this little bit of a hook going on here and a little bit of a finger protection going on here, and then all along the back it's pretty well flush. So it feels great in the hand to literally hold, to work with. You can manipulate this thing any way you would want to manipulate it, and it feels good. And like I said, it has enough texture that you feel it you feel the texture, but it's not a real deep raised texture. So therefore it will be very easy to clean off, you know. So if you do have to field dress a deer or something with this, whenever you go to clean this knife off, it will clean up very easily. Is what I'm getting at. There's no real deep, dark divots that's going to hold a lot of blood and goo and nastiness that's going to make it hard to clean. It's going to wipe off very, very well. In my opinion, it's going to wipe off very well. It has with that rubberized coating, it does feel a little tacky. So, I mean, it feels great. It feels great. I think even with wet hands, you're going to be fine. You know, bloody hands, you're going to be fine. What in the hell is falling down? I don't know. Shit's making noise over there. But anyway, this thing's great. I'm really digging it. I really dig the sheath. That's another thing. This thing is so lightweight. It doesn't weigh much at all. We'll run in some comparisons here. So let's get some comparisons in. We'll compare it to a few other knives, and we'll do some weights on all of these. So first thing, let's compare it to its big brother. This is the Magnacut version Strongarm, okay? Like I said, let's get this thing buttoned up. I will show you guys both of these together. There you go. That's what you're looking at. So I'm thinking for sure camp use. If you're not building a fire, basically, if you have a Bic lighter and you're not going to be striking fire steels, which you have to modify this one to strike fire steel anyway. But if you're not going to be batoning wood, let's just go with that. If you're not going to be batoning wood, you know, and really beating the shit out of it, this thing's going to do anything you want to do. Okay, it's not going to strike fire steel, but it's going to do everything in a camp except for maybe really do some serious firecraft. Okay, but other than that, camp kitchen, you know, making feather sticks, even any cutting tasks, this thing is going to excel at, in my opinion, guys. So then you have your standard Strongarm, which is your jack of all trades knife. This is something that you can use as tactical. You can use it as firecraft. You can use it as anything it needs to be used for. Saber grind instead of a full flat. You know, these are just pry bars, screwdrivers. I mean, whatever you want to do with these, you can do with it. I did modify the spine on this one. I did sharpen the back of the spine so it will strike fire steel, scratch fat wood, all that good stuff. So you can use this thing, you know, military personnel could use this all the way down to your standard bushcrafter, to your standard farmer like me. All right. This thing is fantastic for the jack of all trades knife. Okay. Fantastic. So whenever you think something more specialized, that's whenever you are going to be thinking about the Strongarm camp. So let's hold up the sheaths here. We'll show off the sheaths. You can see what I mean here. See, this one has got some extra stuff right here on the side, just so that a way you could lash it to something, right? So this one does not have that. It's nice and straight. You can see that right there. So there's what you're looking at on the sheaths. They're great. I think these are about the best damn sheaths ever made for versatility. Okay, for versatility, being able to run it through molly, being able to run it off your hip, and be able to run it scout style. I mean, these sheaths are fantastic. I'm so glad that they stuck with this style of sheath for this camp knife. So we'll move the sheaths aside. Here you go. So jack of all trades, master of none, beat the hell out of it. Here you go, right here. A little more specialized in hunting and fishing, food prep, cleaning of game, whether it be fish, deer, squirrel, whatever. You know, you got your camp model. So this was $160. This one was $150. But right now on Amazon, this is what I'm going to. Everything you're going to see here will be in the Amazon affiliate links in the description box down below. But right now, this one is $125. That is what I paid for that one, was $125. Unless the prices go up before I can get this video up on Sunday. So 125, 130. Okay, this was 160. This was 150. Now you're looking at 120 or 130 to 125. So I did pay $125 for this, and it was worth every penny of $125, my opinion. When it's at its $150 price point, I think that's just a little stout. That's the reason why I hadn't purchased it. But $125 for Magnacut, yes, sign me up. Where do I sign, right? So this one is a fantastic camp knife, and this is a fantastic all-arounder, okay? So we're looking at a blade length of just under 5 inches. Just under 5 inches on your Strongarm. On the Camp Series, you are looking at a blade of about, well, just a touch over 4.1, 4.2 inches long. And full flat, almost a full flat grind. If you look very close, you can see a little line right there. See that little flat portion right there? See that? It does have a little flat portion right there. So, but I'm still going to call this a full flat. As high as what that is, yeah, I'm going to still call that a full flat grind. Just saying. Then you got your saber grind with a swedge. The tip, here you go. Here you go. Here's what I'm talking about, guys. Look at the difference in the thickness. Look at the difference. I mean, this thing is thin, slicey, screaming sharp. This thing is, if you need a knife to do knife tasks, this is very hard to beat, in my opinion. Now, this one, if you need a knife that you can just beat the shit out of, it's hard to beat the old Strongarm. But there's your differences in the thickness on the steel. And look at the difference on the tip. I mean, major difference on the tip there, guys. So, two awesome knives, two totally different purposes. And I'm glad they went with this route. If this would have been nearly as thick as this, then, you know, you can basically do the same shit with this as what you do with this, and then it wouldn't even matter which one you bought, right? So since they went super thin on this, that puts it in a different class than the old standby, you know, jack of all trades. That puts this in a little more little more of a different class. I'm just saying, because you're going to be able to get so much more slicey stuff done with this than what you are with the old saber grind on the standard strong arm. So I am ecstatic about having this, and I like that it is sharp all the way down to that little finger choil / sharpening crossbow, whatever the hell it is. So that way you can actually get up close and you can get right on the edge of your knife. See, with the old standby, the edge starts here, all right, and then your hand's way back here. So it's harder to get close to it, all right. I can actually get my finger up over it, but then I'm getting very close to that edge. And if you slip at all, you're going to cut your finger. So you almost have to stay back here whenever you're working with this thing. And it's almost farther away from what my fist, almost the edge is so far away from my fist, it's almost farther than what I like, okay? It's pushing the boundaries of being close enough to do the fine work, okay? It needs to, that edge needed to have been brought back just a little bit more from the factory. But it's still doable, it's workable, it's fine, but you do lose just a little bit of cutting capability because of that right there, that little bit right there. But if you're really into slicing, like I said, this thing's where it's at right here. Like I said, you can get your hand way up there on it, and you can use this thing in so many different positions to make small, fine detailed work of cutting up meat, cleaning fish, cleaning game. This thing is a hunter's dream, in my opinion, guys. This thing is a very, very awesome knife, and it doesn't weigh nothing. It is so freaking light. They went so thin with it, and the materials that are put into the handle, it is light, guys. It's very light. This is actually pretty light too, for what it is. But this thing, I've carried this thing on my hip now for a few days, and you don't even know it's there, guys. It is so light. So now let's get into a couple other competitive options here that cost a little bit more, but they're not Magnacut. So the best thing that I can think of for a competitive option for this is still thicker than what this is, but we're going to go with it anyway. This is the Cold Steel Master Hunter. Okay, you got to. If I'm talking hunting knives, I'm going to have to compare this to the Master Hunter. Okay, this one was, I think, $100. This one is in the san-mai. Now it does have a sharp spine, so you can do anything you want to do woodworking with this. And this knife is thick enough to get that done. Okay, you can see there, it's definitely a thicker blade. All right, but it's not going to be quite as slicey as this. All right, so this one here is kind of a mix mashup of these two blades put together. You know what I'm getting at? It has a full flat grind, and and the sharpening comes way back. It's actually comes a little closer back to your hand than what the Strongarm does. I'll just show you that. See there, the edge of your blade is actually closer to your hand with this one than with the Strongarm. So this is kind of the best of both worlds, and you can get this in CPM 3V, and you can get it in the the san-mai, VG1 san-mai. That's what this one is in. It's in san-mai. This one is from Japan. This one is made in Japan. The Japanese know exactly what to do with san-mai. I'm just saying. So, like I said, a little thicker, a little more fire capability. So, if you want something that's going to be slicier than the Strongarm, damn sure slicier than the Strongarm, and you want something that can still do firecraft, something that's almost as slicey as this, but can still do firecraft, this Master Hunter is pretty hard to beat also. So that's awesome that this is kind of a mix mashup in between these two. Okay, and then what you have is basically a real competitor to the Strongarm in the, we got one more to compare here, in the cold steel SRK-C. This is the compact model, okay? The SRK-C. This is a very good comparison to your standards. Do it all, do everything Strongarm, okay? The back of the spine on this is sharp. I can strike fire steel with it, so that's a plus because the Magnacut version of this does not come that way. This one is in CPM 3V, okay? CPM 3V steel, and here we go with the Magnacut. Check this out, guys. These are pretty damn close to the same kind of, you know what I mean? They're both a saber grind. You have more swedging going on with this one than what you do this one. You have a little more belly with the Strongarm than what you have with the SRK-C. But, man, I mean, look at that. Those are very, 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 very close in size, okay? You do have a little wider blade this way. This way, you have a wider blade, you know? So, there we go. Kind of line these up. You can kind of see that the Strongarm is just barely wider. You know what I mean? Just barely. Barely. Actually, it's pretty damn close, guys. So this is a close run all the way around. And this one here, I think, was around $100 too. I think something like that. So now what we're getting into is these two knives here right now, like I said, 125 and 130 for your Strongarms, okay? You can also buy this one in 3V also, like I said. So you're talking $125 or you're talking right around $100 for the two cold steels, okay? Both of these come with a sharp spine. That is a plus. I mean, that is a plus all the way around. If you're wanting something that is more geared toward hunting, needless to say, full flat grind on the Master Hunter. Okay, if you're wanting a jack of all trades, this one here. I mean, that's kind of what you're going with, and that's so. These are my two cold steel comparisons to the standard Strongarm and the Camp Series. Okay, if you are wanting for sure hunting slash slicing capability, go with this. Okay, if you're wanting a jack of all trades, that if you're wanting a slicey, something that's still slicey, but you can start a fire with, go with this, okay? If you're wanting just basically brute strength and an all-around knife, and you're not quite as concerned about the fire crafting, you can go with this one in the Magnacut, all right? But it's not going to have a sharpened spine. You're going to have to work on it. If you want strength and the ability to start a fire, you can go with this one, all right? So you're going to have to basically weigh how much firecraft means to you, okay? If firecraft doesn't mean a whole lot to you, you know, and you're not going to be striking those fire steels and scratching fatwood, then, you know, the Strongarm series is going to be the way to go just because it's Magnacut, guys. And unless you're willing to, you know, like I was, knock down the spine a little bit with your belt sander to make that edge, the back of that spine sharp. Either way, these are four fantastic knives, fantastic belt knives. You have got, like I said, a little bit of the best of both worlds, and you have got a great comparison to your Strongarm, and then you got your standard Strongarm, your standard Camp in Magnacut that is amazing. So, and all of these are, like I said, competitively priced with each other. I'm so damn glad that I own all four of these. I really am. I find this is what I have found since I've purchased these two cold steels. I find myself carrying this one more than this one. Okay, that's just the way it is. I find myself carrying this one more than this one, just because I like that little bit of that full flat grind. It's a little more slicey. Okay. Now when it comes to the blade steel, the SRK-C, I think, is just a little narrower, a little thinner than what the Master Hunter is. I think, with the blade steel. So these are four great knives. In my opinion, you can't really go wrong with any of them. Now, I will say one thing. CPM 3V is tool steel. It can rust, so you have to watch that. The san-mai is a stainless steel. Should not have rusting, should not be an issue. And, of course, with your Magnacut, you're not going to have to worry about rust either. Let's get these sheathed back up in their original configuration. So let's get some weights on them and see what we got here. So let's see. Oh, let's see. Did I compare these? So your Master Hunter is just a little longer. I don't remember if I actually held these up side by side. But yeah, your Master Hunter is definitely a little longer. And when it comes to the texture from going from cold steel to the Camp Series is, like I said, a little smoother. The texture is not as aggressive as what the cold steel is, but that's a good thing because it's going to be easier to clean. Okay, and then your most aggressive is naturally your standard Strongarm. It has more aggressive texturing, in my opinion, a little more aggressive texturing than what the cold steels do. I love these rubber overmolded handles. They're so comfortable. They're so temperature neutral. They're great, guys. So, all right, let me get these sheathed up, and we're going to get some weights on all these. All right, because weight can make a difference. I'm just saying. We'll get these sheathed up, and you can put the Gerbers. You can put them in right or left-handed. The sheath will take it either way. And of course, with your cold steels, you can flip this thing around to carry them right or left-handed. Every knife here I've got set up left-handed because I am left-handed. So we'll get these put together. All right, let's get out the scale. All right, let's get out the scale, see what we got. So got the scale out here. Let's weigh the lightest one first, the Magnacut Camp. All right, Gerber Strongarm Camp. You're looking at 8.8 ounces. Okay, its brother. You're gonna have 11.5 ounces. Okay, the Master Hunter. You're looking at 9 ounces. Okay, so it's barely heavier than the Camp Series. You're looking at 8.8 to 9 ounces on the dot. These are very comparable. This is a barely heavier than this one. All right. Now we will look at the SRK-C and CPM 3V steel, and you're looking at 7.5 ounces. Okay. 7.5, 8.8. So this is the lightest one of the bunch. This one is the lightest one of the bunch. So now we know what we're dealing with weight. We will compare the SRK-C to the Camp model because these are the two lightest weight ones in the bunch. Okay. We will compare these two. So your lightest one, SRK-C, in the CPM 3V, you're looking at a longer blade. Okay. You damn sure got a longer blade. All right. The blade thickness is thicker. It is thicker. Okay. So there's what you're looking at as far as your differences between these two, even with this one being the lightest one in its original, sheath, right? So let's do something else that's interesting here. Let's try something. All right. Let's take this sheath apart. All right. Let's get rid of some weight off of this sheath. Okay. Let's get rid of this backer. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Because you can run this on your belt just off of that. Okay. You can run that off your belt just like that. And then let's go ahead and let's take off there's a couple of tabs in here you got to push, and then you can pull that retaining clip all the way out and then pop that off. Okay. That's how this sheath works. So then we will reinsert the knife, re-snap the snap, and the snap on this thing is very stout. I will say that. So now that we have this trimmed down into its smallest package, that you could carry it at, now let's check weights. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay. Now we are looking at 6.8 ounces. Okay. What was the SRK-C? 7.5. So you can take these three items off of this sheath. Okay. Take those three items off this sheath, and you can knock the weight down on this thing all the way to 6.8 ounces. That don't weigh anything, guys. I mean, that is very, very light. You're talking almost more a companion weight. I mean, a companion naturally is a little bit heavier, yes, or a little bit lighter, of course, but you're getting close to that Mora weight. on like a companion, or say maybe like a Strongarm, or shit. More Gerber. That's what I meant. Maybe a Gerber or a Constable. Then you're getting into some pretty light weights there. 6.8 ounces in that configuration. That's pretty cool. Just saying, guys. So I am probably actually maybe I don't know. I think I'm actually going to leave all this stuff off there and carry it like this for a while before I put all that back on. I don't know. I don't know. There's so many options. It actually gets a little crazy, right? So, excuse me. We'll turn that back off. We'll all right, guys. That's what we got. I've held you guys here 30 minutes. That is way too long for this. This video should not have taken that long. But these are 4 absolutely fantastic knives that I don't think you can go wrong with. And I wanted to be able to try to tell you everything that I know about every one of these. Now, I will say one thing. One more thing. This Master Hunter, I did have to reprofile the edge. I came with like a 21 or 22 degree edge on it, and I just didn't like the edge. It was sharp, don't get me wrong. It was screaming sharp. It was great. But when it comes to doing feather sticks and stuff, it just seemed like it was a little bit, the edge angle, I'm used to a 20 degree edge, okay? 19, 20 degree edges. So, yeah, I just couldn't get with the feather sticks as well as what I wanted to. So I did reprofile this Master Hunter to a 20 degree edge. Now it's fantastic, okay? All of these have got 20 degree edges on them, maybe 19, maybe somewhere in that vicinity on all 4 of these. So these are right in my wheelhouse whenever it comes to your edge. But sorry I made this video so long. I've got to get out of here. You guys are maybe already tuning out now. So anyway, I got to get out of here. This is Chandler's Legacy Farm. If you like what I'm doing, like, share, subscribe. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Thanks to the great comments there. I still get a few jackasses every once in a while, but not many. But anyway, if you've hung out this long, I damn sure appreciate you. And we're out of here, and we will see you.